Throughout the Singleback Ace Attack 14 guide, we've shown a few plays where we have one of the outside receivers running a smoke screen. In this one we're about to show, we're going to have two of the receivers running smoke screens, and the name of it's called Singleback Ace Play Action Double Smokes. Now, if you were to go look in all the playbooks in the game, you're not going to find this particular play name. There's nothing called Play Action Double Smokes. It's just something that I came up with that I like to call. However, if you go find the Play Action All Go, you can get the exact same results here because that's the play this is based off of. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at this as far as what we're going to do. And as you notice, on the outside here, we're going to have these two receivers running smoke screens. Now, as I mentioned before, the thing about this play is to get to that, you need to go ahead and call the All Go play, or the Play Action All Go, that you'll find in some of the playbooks that have this particular formation in it. Now, what you want to do is, to get to that, you're going to end up wanting to do some little bit of hot routing. And before we get to that, let's go and take a look at the coverages that we're going to run this one against. So this is cover 3, and one of the things that I do when I run this play is I look to see where these two corners are lined up at. If they're lined up loose or just at normal coverage, such as what I'm showing here, then I probably will run this play. Now, on the other hand, if I see that these two corners are lined up down in this area here, such as where I'm showing on the illustration right there, then I'm not going to run this play. I'm going to audible to something else, or I may run the Play Action All Go and I won't do the hot routes on the outside. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the Play Action All Go play that we've broken down, you may want to take a look at that one because we kind of talk about that as well. Now, what I want to do here is I want to go back and just show you the hot routes that we're going to do with this particular play. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hot route the split in on a smoke screen, and then the same thing is going to be said for the flanker. We'll hot route him on a smoke screen. Finally, you can look at the play now, and we're not going to make any other hot route adjustments. In the All Play Action Go play we talked about hot routing the halfback on a delayed flat route out there towards the right. In this particular play, we don't want to do that. We want to go ahead and leave the play action on, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see it as we go through the video when we actually play the play. Now, speaking of who we're going to throw to here, we're not going to throw to the flanker with this one. We're actually going to end up throwing to the split end lined up out there on the left, and that's the receiver I want you to concentrate on. I also want you guys to concentrate on these three linebackers too as well, because that's kind of where I wanted to go with this and kind of show you what happens. And I think if you go into the lab, you'll see the same thing. So let's go ahead and run the play, and then we'll take a look at it here again once we replay it. And you'll see there we pick up some positive yardage. Now, let's go back and run it again, and I want to stop it right there. These linebackers, a lot of times they're going to bite on the play action. In particular, the one that we really want to focus in on is this guy right here, which is this right outside linebacker. If you snap the ball and you see that if he comes up, let's go ahead and do this. If he comes up thinking run, and then all of a sudden you see that, and then at the last second he ends up going out here to cover the flat, by the time you come out of your play action animation right there, you ought to be able to throw that ball to this guy out here to the split end and complete it for a nice gain. And that's what I wanted to show here, because this defender right here, which is that right outside linebacker, is no way he's going to get all the way over here to cover that quick enough where he can defend that. Now, if you want to, and we're not showing it here, but you could also look to throw this guy right here, which is going to be the flanker. The only problem with that is this guy right here, which is this strong safety. He may get down there quick enough to make a tackle, but sometimes he doesn't, other times he might. Sometimes what you might find with him is that he'll bite on the play action too. He'll come up here, and then he'll go out here and play the flat on this particular defense I'm showing here. He'll go back out here. But you can try to do that, and you should have some success. Same way if this is cover 4, you could run this smoke screen, this play action double smoke screen that I'm showing here. You could run that against cover 4. You could certainly run it against a blitz. So if you had, let's go back here again. For example, if you had some type of blitz coming off the edge, you had this guy maybe blitzing here, and you had another guy going on here, and then you had something like this, and then you have this guy dropping back, you could certainly run this play and have some success with it as far as against any type of zone blitz. So don't forget to do that. Even all coverages, you might be able to get away with this depending on how fast this guy drops out into the flat. Say they put these guys into the flat, or if they put them into the curl of the flat, maybe they put these defensive ends, you should still be able to run this and have success with it. So that's where I really wanted to go with this play, because I feel like it's pretty nice to run, especially against zone type defenses. Now, I wouldn't run this against man, because if your opponent plays a lot of man coverage, so you get in the first quarter, you're going through the game, and you realize starting to say, hey, my opponent plays a lot of man coverage, then you probably don't want to run this one. If he's playing a lot of zone, then you might want to go ahead and throw this in from time to time. But definitely pay attention to these two corners. If they're playing loose, you may want to go ahead and throw this at them just to see what happens. So this one is called Singleback Ace Play Action Double Smokes looking to throw to one of those outside receivers, especially against zone coverage.